A 23-year-old, you heard that right, will become the next mayor of Bogalusa. Tyron Trong started his campaign because he just didn't like what he was seeing in the city.
I'm Mayor Tyron Trong, and welcome to the magic city of Bogalusa.
His victory made headlines when he became mayor of Bogalusa at just 23 years old.
A few moments later
is breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Liz Reyes. Thanks for joining us. Breaking at this hour, the mayor of Bogalusa, the youngest in the city's history, gets arrested and now faces some serious charges. At noon, the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office releasing the mugshot of Tyron Trong.
His supporters believe he's being framed because of racial bias.
We've been after him for a while. We unfortunately, and it's so sad and it's so embarrassing for our city because racism, hatred, bigotry is still alive. And when it surfaces to this extent, it's so sad.
So the youngest mayor ever in this town has been arrested for pimping prostitutes, selling drugs, and trafficking firearms. Let's talk about it. This is Tyron Trong. Now, Trong graduated from Washington State University in St. Louis back in 2021. He earned a degree in African American Studies with a minor in political science. Now, while at the university, he became president of the student union, managing a budget of $3.7 million. Now, Trong is a Democrat with a capital D. During the 2020 election cycle, when Joe Biden was facing Trump, he ran to be a Joe Biden delegate at the Democratic National Convention. He also was a delegate for Kamala Harris in 2024. Here's a picture of him at the DNC. Now, with his popularity growing at the age of 22, Trong decided to run for mayor.
Growing up, I was Student of the Year for Bogalusa City Schools. I graduated at the top of my high school class with over $700,000 in scholarships. As a college student, I was fortunate enough to work for Congressman Lacy Clay in the United States House of Representatives. I graduated from Washington University, where I served as student body president, managing an almost $4 million budget. When I moved back, I became a school teacher at Central Elementary and started an organization called Better Bogalusa, focused on investing in our city's youth. I currently serve as state policy director for one of the largest civil rights organizations in the country. I'm Tyron Trong, and I approve this message.
So, as you obviously know, Trong became mayor. He became mayor of the town, beating the current mayor who had served 2 previous terms.
Across the area, we have the mayor's race in Bogalusa. The incumbent has been ousted tonight. The winning candidate is Tyron Trong, it appears, with 56% of the vote. So there'll be new leadership in Bogalusa.
Like and share our post. It took all of us to get here. This is our win tonight.
A 23-year-old, you heard that right, will become the next mayor of Bogalusa. Tyron Trong started his campaign because he just didn't like what he was seeing in the city.
Now, remember, the former mayor had served 8 years in this position, and this is what she said about losing the election.
I am disappointed in the results, of course, but it's obvious that God has a different plan for me, and I'm at peace with that.
In a concession statement on election night, Perrette questioned whether Trong has the skill set to lead and unite the city, but is hopeful he will.
I would like for this to be a smooth transition. It's best for all of our citizens.
So now, after this mayor was elected, very interesting things started happening. For instance, the mayor started getting these racially motivated online threats, and they actually found out who was doing it and arrested that person. Check it out.
Developing out of Bogalusa, police arrest the man they say made threats toward the new mayor. We first told you about this story last week when Mayor Tyron Trong announced he'd received threats on social media. The Washington Parish NAACP called those threats racially motivated. 51-year-old Jason Gavin was arrested late yesterday and booked with cyber stalking.
Now, it wasn't only online racists who were threatening this young minority mayor. It was also other black politicians in the city council. Matter of fact, one of the city councilors threatened to shoot him with a double-barrel shotgun, and she happened to be black. Check it out.
The Bogalusa mayor says he's pressing charges against a city councilwoman who he says threatened him while walking out of Tuesday's city council meeting.
Things got heated at Tuesday night's Bogalusa City Council meeting when agenda item number 8 came up, discussing a city spending freeze.
We were going back and forth about why we shouldn't implement the freeze, and a council person got up and stated, I don't have time for this. So they walked out, and on their way out the door turned around and said, I got a double-loaded shotgun.
That alleged threat made by Councilwoman Penny Douglas, catching everyone in attendance off guard.
Yeah, that was wrong. Council lady at large talking about a double-barrel shotgun, threatening, making threats towards the mayor. I think that she need to be removed from office.
Now we gotta fast forward to January 2025, where the mayor's brother attended a basketball game and then was arrested as an accessory to first-degree murder. The mayor's brother.
In Bogalusa, sources say one of the 3 people arrested in connection to a deadly shooting that happened during a high school basketball game last week is the half-brother of Mayor Tyron Trong. Caleb Moss was arrested for obstruction of justice and as an accessory to first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. Jamichael Spikes and a 16-year-old were also arrested. A 14-year-old was killed and a 12-year-old was injured during that shooting.
Yeah, so this Louisiana town is like a little insane. Mayor being threatened to be shotgunned at a city council meeting. And then on the other side, you have the mayor's brother being arrested as an accessory to first-degree murder where a kid was killed. So it seems to be going out of control. But wait, there's a lot more. See, Louisiana State Police were tipped off to a drug trafficking operation out of the Bogalusa area, and that the mayor was involved in this drug trafficking organization.
According to state police, the investigation began in April when their Narcotics and Violent Crime Task Force learned of a drug trafficking organization operating in Bogalusa.
They allege that Tyron Trong and as many as 10 others are involved in a scheme to use social media to distribute controlled dangerous substances like opioids, high-grade marijuana, and ecstasy.
Now, the DA also alleged that the mayor organized entertainment with prostitutes at an Airbnb while attending a mayor's conference in Atlanta. The Airbnb was rented using public funds, which is a big no-no.
The allegations also include charges related to the use of public funds to procure a hotel room involving a prostitute.
I think it's a tragedy. People had a lot of hopes in him as a young up-and-comer who might be able to provide leadership.
So with all of this evidence, police then raided the mayor's home and he was arrested on drug trafficking charges.
This is breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Liz Reyes. Thanks for joining us. Breaking at this hour, the mayor of Bogalusa, the youngest in the city's history, gets arrested and now faces some serious charges. At noon, the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office releasing the mugshot of Tyron Trong. Fox 8 Rob Masson. He is live right now. The charges the mayor now faces. Rob.
Yeah, Liz, we're coming to you live from the Bogalusa City Hall where state police just arrived about 15 minutes ago. About a half dozen troopers went into the City Hall annex and they are executing search warrants around Bogalusa in this wide-ranging scheme.
So the mayor and his supporters decided to take the BLM approach. Just scream racism and everything is going to work out.
However, his supporters believe he's being framed because of racial bias.
Our city has so much racism, so much bigotry, so much hatred. There's such a division of white and black, even in the areas that we live. There's so much that it's an embarrassment now.
Now, other black residents said this is just a big conspiracy against the mayor. He's a good guy, and they don't care about the facts. They'll always say he is innocent, no matter what evidence they have.
I say it now and I'll say it forever. He's not guilty of any of these charges.
This mayor is trying to straighten things out and make things better. The crooks don't want him to take over. They want to keep doing what they're doing. They don't like him because he's doing what's right.
The good old boys here in Bogalusa, they didn't like that. They didn't like him exposing them. So this here is retaliation.
Now, after his arrest, the mayor was released on a $150 $50,000 bail.
Bogalusa's mayor is out of jail tonight after an early morning arrest. This video is from just a few moments ago as Bogalusa Mayor Tyron Trong was released from jail. He was arrested this morning on multiple charges after what officials call a months-long drug trafficking investigation.
The mayor then released a statement proclaiming his innocence.
Now to an update on a story that we've been following for you. The mayor of Bogalusa has commented for the very first time since his arrest yesterday. Mayor Tyron Trong is one of at least 20 people who were arrested yesterday after what authorities say was a months-long investigation into an online drug organization. Now, after the mayor's release, Trong said in part, when you're cutting contracts, shutting down favors, and exerting influence, shaking up things and exposing truths, you become a target. He went on to say he prays that God reveals every person that had a hand in this, and there are many.
So this story obviously is insane, and this mayor has a lot to answer for, because if what they're saying is true, this is insane old stuff. And why do people just jump to conclusions either way, right? I don't know if this mayor is guilty. I don't know if he's innocent. I need to see what evidence police have to see if they can convince us that this person is guilty or whether this is a witch hunt. Now, the sad part about this story is how the people of this town just immediately defend what's going on with racism. This is all racism. He's being arrested because of racism. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what the evidence is as of now. Only thing they know is that a black man has been arrested by police, and they just scream racism and corruption. So let me know, what do you think about this story? What do you think about this mayor? Do you think this is all about racism, or do you think there may be something more involved here? Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to the great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you in the next one.